The Cleveland Browns aren't collapsing because they lack talent. They're collapsing because something is broken inside that building. And it finally slipped out in public. What leaked from one quiet press conference exposed more than bad play calling or injuries. It revealed a dangerous disconnect between a head coach and his quarterback. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. This wasn't loud dysfunction. There were no arguments caught on camera, no locker room fights, no viral blow-ups. Just something colder, something far worse. Indifference. It started before the Browns' matchup with Buffalo, during what should have been a routine pregame press conference. Kevin Stefanski stepped up to the podium, answered a few standard questions, and then Mary Kay Cabot asked the one thing everyone wanted to know. She asked about Shedeur Sanders, not his stats, not the box score, but how he was holding up mentally after another brutal game, how he was responding to constant pressure, relentless criticism, and an offense that looks like it's collapsing around him. This was the moment for leadership, the moment to show belief, the moment to protect your quarterback. And Stefanski didn't do it. Same guy every day, he said. Not surprised. That was it. No explanation, no context, no acknowledgement of what Sanders is dealing with. Just a flat, dismissive answer before moving on to the next question. And that's when alarms should have gone off. Because when your quarterback is getting hit at historic rates, when he's playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in football, when the media is openly questioning whether he belongs in the league, that's not the time for minimal effort support. That's the time you step up. But Stefanski didn't. And what made it worse wasn't just what he said. It was how differently he spoke about everyone else. Moments later, the tone completely changed. When asked about Myles Garrett chasing the single-season sack record, Stefanski lit up. His posture shifted. His voice gained energy. Suddenly, he had plenty to say. He talked about Garrett's maturity, his leadership, his selflessness, how proud he was of him, how his play spoke volumes. It went on, and listen, Myles Garrett deserves praise. No one's arguing that. But the contrast was impossible to ignore, because when Stefanski talks about players he believes in, you feel it, you hear it, you see it. And when he talks about Shedeur Sanders, you don't. That same pattern repeated again when Bitonio's name came up. Stefanski praised his consistency, his preparation, his longevity, his value to the organization. Nearly a full minute of detailed appreciation. Everything he does is intentional. Doesn't happen by accident. Incredible value on and off the field. That's how you talk about players you care about. That's how you publicly support someone. But when it came time to support the most important position in football, the quarterback, Stefanski gave him 8 words and moved on. And that's where this stops being coincidence, because body language doesn't lie, tone doesn't lie, energy doesn't lie. When a coach believes in a player, you don't need quotes to confirm it. You can hear it in how they answer questions. You can see it in how they defend that player when things go wrong. And when a coach is mentally checked out, when he knows his time might be ending, when he's protecting his own reputation instead of building the future, that's when you get answers like same guy every day. One reporter who was in that room said it out loud afterward. Stefanski didn't sound confident. Not in his quarterback, not in his team, not in the situation. Low belief energy, and that matters more than people realize. Because how is a young quarterback supposed to feel empowered when his head coach sounds defeated before kickoff? How is he supposed to command a locker room when the man calling plays doesn't sound like he believes this team can win? And that's where the rumors come in. Because around the league, reports have been circulating for weeks that Cleveland's front office is seriously considering moving on from Kevin Stefanski. Some insiders have even suggested he could walk away on his own. Think about that. A head coach possibly coaching his final games, a season slipping away, and a rookie quarterback representing the next era. That creates a dangerous dynamic, because lame duck coaches don't build futures. They protect resumes. They lean on veterans they trust. They avoid risk. They emotionally detach from players who won't be their guys much longer. And suddenly, Stefanski's press conference makes perfect sense. Myles Garrett represents his legacy. Bitonio is a safe veteran. But Shedeur Sanders? That's the next regime's quarterback. So why invest emotionally? Why go to bat publicly? Why frame his struggles with context? That's not sabotage with playbooks, it's sabotage their